And I think that honestly, since I've been wearing the device, I got a much better outlook on life. Generally speaking, I'm much happier in my heart, in my body, in my mind, in my spirit, feeling much better than, let's say, a year ago.
Hey, Serge and Cynthia, thanks so much for coming to spend time with me today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, I'm happy to see you on this side of the one-on-one, face-to-face. It's nice. So can you start off by talking a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Generally speaking, I'm pretty healthy. I consider myself actually very healthy compared to all the people my age. I'm 78 years old, and I feel like I'm much younger than that. And Cynthia is my partner, and we're both very healthy. She's my doctor, keeps me healthy and young. So that's how I felt before coming into. But I do have little bumps on the road, you know.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question?
I know. What are those bumps, Serge?
Well, what can I say?
Grumpy?
Yeah, it's okay. So she can answer for me. I as I was getting older and I worked so hard in my life, and you know, you get to the point where because you're older, people ignore you, or people don't want to hear what you have to say, or you feel you become you have that feeling of becoming irrelevant, and especially in the family and friends. And so I became bitter a little bit and grumpier, and of course that didn't help. And Cynthia can vouch for it, but that was before the device. And I think that honestly, since I've been wearing the device, I got a much better outlook on life and much better spirit. I feel like I don't care if they don't like what I have to say. I say it anyway, and I'm not being inappropriate. I speak my mind. I've been trained to be always be honest with myself and people, but be appropriate at the same time. So you can pipe in if you want, but I think generally speaking, I'm much happier. Spiritually, I've been meditating more than ever before, and I don't know if it coincides with new energy coming in, but it coincides with having the device. And yeah, overall feeling in my heart, in my body, in my mind, in my spirit, feeling much better than, let's say, a year ago.
Nice.
That's pretty accurate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Well, yes, one thing, a couple of things. I don't have any known ailment. I don't suffer from this or that, or I don't take any medication. I don't see doctors. She's my doctor, and maintain a very healthy lifestyle. But since we've been here, I've been stung by scorpions a couple of times, and so did she. And every time you get stung by a scorpion, it's super painful, and it lasts for at least 24 hours before the pain subsides, and the side effects of numbness and the thick tongue and
the venom is used in Mayan shamanic ceremony, you know, for psychedelic purposes. But it's not really a psychedelic. You probably need to take more, but you do feel a little funny, I gotta say.
Yeah,
it affects you.
So anyway, so a couple of months ago, I got stung again by a scorpion right at dinner time. And I figured, you know, it hurts so much. It's so painful. And I figured, well, that's it for my night, right? I'm not gonna, but I thought, well, I'm gonna put the device on my foot, that I stung on the foot, and kept it on my foot all night. Well, I guess by midnight, so that was about 6 hours after, the pain was gone, pretty much all. I still felt it a little bit, but I could sleep. And the previous times I could not, and it's too painful. And you can pop the pills if you want, but we don't do that. We endure, except maybe Cynthia takes Benadryls once in a while for sharp pains, but
No, it's for itching. It's for hives or itching sometimes.
that's brutal.
The
But I
sandflies or
don't have that.
something, there's something, some kind of grass in the jungle also I have an allergic reaction to.
So that one I can say for sure. I shared with Tanya, my daughter, and Cynthia and others, that I am certain that the device made the difference. You know, when I don't wish it on anyone, but man, it hurts. And maybe not as much as being stung by 1,000 bees, but then 1,000 bees, at one point you don't feel them anymore. You go unconscious. You go into shock, right? You don't feel the sharp pains. But that was before the device. So that's definitely a sure result that I can, with certainty, ascribe to the device.
That's amazing.
Other than
So
that,
it seems like it pulled the vector. Dr. A says the vectors, it removes vectors. So it feels like it must have pulled that out somehow. So that
yes,
I'm
I'm not sure how it works, but it does work. So that was the
Cool.
biggest result for me, other than feeling good in general and all of that, what I said at the beginning. But that one was a convincing breakthrough for me. Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. I've been stung by other creatures before, and this is the worst.
I can't imagine. So go ahead.
The thing is that the pain is not localized where you got the sting. That hurts like hell, but then your whole body goes into pain. It generates a very painful reaction throughout your body that is so uncomfortable. You can't get rid of it. You can't. It's internal, right? It's poison goes inside. So you can take anti-venom, which is what people suggest or recommend, but anti-venom is another venom, right? So I prefer to suffer and not take more medication, or whenever I can handle it, I don't.
So when you woke up in the morning, did you notice anything?
Yes, actually, as I said, I managed to sleep a good 4 or 5 hours that night after the maybe 6, and the next morning I could still feel the tenderness where the stung was on my foot, the sting, but my body in general had recovered quasi completely. I still feel a little funny, a little, but nothing like the previous times. Previous times it carries over in the next day, pain and craziness.
Just you feel a little floaty.
Yeah, but no, the next day I was pretty much back to normal.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
In the future, you're going to have a chance to go through the Q arc and have a healthy 30-year-old body. And you're in your 70s. So basically, strong, healthy, fit, vibrant 30-year-old. However, you're going to have all this life wisdom to apply to it. What are you going to do with that, Serge? What excites you about that the most?
Well,
gosh, like a do-over, right?
Yeah, do-over. Well,
do-over, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do any less than we did when we were 30 and 40 and 50, because both of us were super active. Cynthia was a dancer, an athlete, aerobic dancer, not dancer, instructor, and she played all kinds of roles in live plays. And so we're not going to do any less than that. But for me, other than doing all this stuff over again, and skiing and mountain climbing and all that, I want to be so fit to last for 100 years for the humanitarian works that we are committed to with Love One Society and the QHS centers, which now it's pretty clear that they're going to be married, right? You open a CAC, maybe not in the same building, but the QHS center is gonna go without saying, right? So we haven't discussed this.
Yeah.
But that's our vision. So that my vision is to have a real exciting life like the one we had times 2 or 3 or 4. And we've been very generous everywhere we went in the world. We're humanitarian to begin with. We give to people, we share with people, we help the village people, we feed the people, we're doing this already. We've been doing it because we know we have more than we need and they don't. So we help the local people, and so it's part of our fabric. And so we're not going to do any less, of course. And with the funding of the bigger picture, then of course we have friends in third world countries that we already told them a little bit about, not too much, but a little bit about the future, and they can't wait. Anyway, so that's my vision is, and that includes everything that I have passion for is right there.
Are you
Helping.
gonna do that? And are you gonna open your center in Canada or in Belize?
Well,
the
probably Belize
it's going to depend.
needs it more.
We're resident in Belize, but we are trying to sell our place to move back to Canada. But I keep telling the people that even if I leave Belize, my heart is not leaving Belize. So, but my heart is also in Canada. That's my country, my birthplace, and my family, and so on. So I think that we're probably going to start here in Belize, as we said in our presentation, in the 3-ring binder, which we now don't need. But yeah, this is where it's needed most urgently. All the humanitarian work. People on the calls. You guys, American, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be demeaning, but most people have no idea what third world countries living is like. Here in Belize is the poverty is so rampant, and the
Living hand to mouth.
Living hand to mouth, and not much hand to mouth is like anyway. And then there's corruption, like everywhere else. And of course, because it's such a small country, it's very much more in your face. And the education system sucks, and I mean, everything needs to be done here. It's awful. And the same thing in Canada. It's not any better in Canada. It's just more modern and more of this and more of that. But
more expensive.
Yeah, but people still have their head in the sand so deep. In my family and my friends in Canada, we have a hard time communicating with them because they don't believe anything we say. They say, "Oh no, it's not like that. It's not so bad. It's not so bad." Oh yeah, you guys don't know how bad it is, but it's okay. So that's my passion. I want to wake them up. I want to make a difference. I have a deep-seated, long-term passion is to transform the world, or transform my country, transform my community, like Werner Erhard did, and like Christ did, and or is doing. And but I don't want to go on the pedestal and preaching here is useless because everybody is totally ingrained and engrossed into the Bible and the Christian fundamental deep head. And
a lot of corrupt missionaries here too.
Oh, the missionaries here are all freaking crook and corrupt. It's pathetic.
Wow, that's so sad.
That's sad. That's sad. Anyway, I don't want to paint anybody black. That's not necessary.
So
that's about it.
Will you come back and do another interview after you have your do-over?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think it's going to be going back to being 30. I think it's going back 30 years.
Nope. The model is 30-year-old cells.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take
I don't mind. So both of us being 30 is going to be perfectly fine. And we're not going to lose any of our 78 years experience, 66 for Cynthia. We're still going to have all our experience and knowledge, I understand. And yeah, so I look forward to it. I look forward to it.
It's going to be very fun. I look forward to seeing you at the gala. So what would you like to say in closing?
Well, the one thing I'd like to say that is that I firmly believe, like Ron, in my own different way, even before I met Ron, that I really believe that Christ consciousness is here. Christ consciousness is the second coming. It's not a person coming. It's not an individual wearing a robe and going like this. The Christ consciousness is the second coming of Christ, as it was for the apostle, the second coming, the Pentecost, right? And so everybody's going to get or is receiving the Christ consciousness. And it's up to us, the individual, to open up and receive it and own it and become it. And
well, we have to step up to it.
Yeah, it's the same, owning it and being Christ consciousness, elevate ourselves and grow up, so to speak, and not wait for somebody to come and tap on your shoulder. So that's my stand in life, and that's who I am, and that's my expression in life, day after day, slowly and surely. and I want to say that somehow I want to find a way to participate, contribute to QHS, as I do and will with a Loved One Society.
Awesome. Well, we would love to have you. You guys are such a lovely couple, and I so appreciate seeing your smiling faces and your glowing skin on all of our calls. So I look forward to next time.
Okay. Thanks, Tracy. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.